Timothy Jones Jr. seemed to have it all: a good job, a beautiful home in Lexington, South Carolina, and 5 young children who adored him. He was an intelligent man, having earned a degree in computer engineering. His neighbors often saw him playing with his children in the yard or taking them for ice cream. From the outside, the Jones family appeared to be living the American dream. But beneath the surface, cracks were beginning to show. Timothy's marriage to Amber Kaiser had ended in a contentious divorce, and he had been granted primary custody of the children: Mara, 8, Elias, 7, Natan, 6, Gabriel, 2, and Abigail, 1. The stress of raising 5 children on his own, coupled with his declining mental health, created a volatile situation. Timothy was known to have a strict and sometimes harsh parenting style. He struggled with paranoia and believed that his ex-wife and others were plotting against him. As his mental state deteriorated, his behavior became more erratic and unpredictable. Friends and family noticed his increasing agitation but felt powerless to intervene. In late August 2014, Timothy's fragile grip on reality finally snapped. He became convinced that his 6-year-old son, Natan, had intentionally broken an electrical outlet. In a fit of rage, Timothy forced Natan to do strenuous physical exercises as punishment. When the boy collapsed and stopped breathing, Timothy panicked. Instead of calling for help, he made a decision that would seal his fate. Over the next few days, Timothy's actions defied all logic and humanity. He placed Natan's lifeless body in the back of his SUV and continued to care for his remaining children as if nothing had happened. However, his mental state continued to unravel, leading to further tragedy. Timothy strangled his 8-year-old daughter, Mara, his 7-year-old son, Elias, his 2-year-old son, Gabriel, and his 1-year-old daughter, Abigail. With each act, he became more detached from reality, driven by an irrational belief that he was protecting them from a worse fate. With the bodies of his 5 children in the back of his vehicle, Timothy fled South Carolina, driving aimlessly across several states. He attempted to cover his tracks, disposing of the bodies in garbage bags and abandoning them in a remote wooded area in Alabama. As he traveled, his behavior became increasingly erratic. He visited various locations, staying in motels and purchasing supplies with no clear plan or destination. On September 6, 2014, Timothy was stopped at a routine traffic checkpoint in Mississippi. The officer noted the strong odor of decomposition coming from the vehicle and observed Timothy's nervous demeanor. Upon further inspection, the grisly discovery was made. Timothy was arrested on the spot, and the tragic story began to unfold. News of the murders shocked the nation. As details emerged, the public struggled to comprehend how a father could commit such heinous acts against his own children. Investigators pieced together the events leading up to the killings, uncovering a history of mental illness and erratic behavior. Timothy's ex-wife, Amber, was devastated by the loss of her children. She had believed they were safe with their father despite his controlling tendencies. As she grappled with her grief, she also faced intense scrutiny from the media and public. Timothy Jones Jr. was charged with 5 counts of murder. His defense team argued that he was not guilty by reason of insanity, presenting evidence of his deteriorating mental state and history of delusional behavior. They claimed that Timothy genuinely believed he was protecting his children from a perceived threat. The prosecution, however, painted a picture of a man who was fully aware of his actions and their consequences. They presented graphic evidence and testimony, highlighting the premeditated nature of the killings and the steps Timothy took to cover them up. The trial was a harrowing experience for everyone involved. Amber Kaiser delivered a powerful victim impact statement, describing the pain and loss she felt every day. The jury was tasked with determining whether Timothy was a cold-blooded killer or a mentally ill man who had lost touch with reality. After a lengthy deliberation, the jury found Timothy Jones Jr. guilty of all 5 counts of murder. He was sentenced to death, a decision that brought a measure of closure to the grieving community, but also sparked debate about the treatment of mentally ill offenders. The Jones family home stood empty, a somber reminder of the tragedy that had occurred within its walls. The community of Lexington struggled to heal, holding vigils and memorials for the 5 innocent lives lost. Amber Kaiser channeled her grief into advocacy, speaking out about the importance of mental health awareness and support for struggling parents. Timothy Jones Jr. remains on death row, his case a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of untreated mental illness and the importance of intervention before tragedy strikes. The story of Timothy Jones Jr. is a heartbreaking example of how a seemingly perfect life can unravel, leading to unimaginable horror. It underscores the need for compassion, understanding, and action to prevent such tragedies from occurring in the future.